person of Lucifer. See, now I'm gonna put you some footages from Catholic churches, from St. Peter's Church in Rome, where they invoke Lucifer and they worship Lucifer.
Flammas eius Lucifer matutinus inveniat, ille in quam Lucifer qui nescito casum, Christus filius tuus, qui regressus ab inferis, humano generis serenus iluxit, et tecum vivit et regnat in saecula saeculorum.
And now, when you saw that worship, and they do it every year, you need to simply accept this as a reality, that some of us really can sense him, see him, and when he appears, he is the most real person in my life I ever stood in front of. Because if you measure importance of somebody as his impression on you and influence on you, that's why I say my neighbors, they don't even make like 10% of the energetic impression of a real people as he has when he is around, because he can come anytime he likes, and when he's pressing you like a ship's container. And then if he's pissed off, and he's normally pissed off about something I've done, then I have the whole circle of microwaves of direct energy and harassment, which essentially led me to the ear infection, which I had maybe 4 months now. Now is January, and I think it started September. So it's not fun, okay? And he's not really easygoing guy. And why am I saying this? I'm saying this because for every single Illuminati, and I'm not one of them, but for every single one of them, and maybe few of us who can really see him, and I'm the only one who speaks about him really openly, he is really the entity slash person, if you like it. He's not a Satan, okay? This is something else. And the simply construct, which is something else. He influences directly your mind. And guys, this is like the most important thing of this conversation. See, he is like installed in you. He installed part of himself like an implant in you, and that part plus other parts, also demonic extensions, are forming for quite a bit of the humans their core personality. And this is the thing, what I call in violence, I have like 4 different steps of violence. First is noticing, then is cursing. These are 2 emotional stages. These are simply emotional stages pushed by them beyond the threshold. And then you have the 3rd step, where some psychopath normally in a group gonna explain the group why a person needs to be hated. This is the rationalization. Then their hate gonna be sharp and focused, not only emotional but now justified. And the 4th step is the violence. In my case, it begins with throwing a stone in my window, and then symbolically, of course, by sending dogs on me, or sending 10, 11, 12-year-old boys on me, or in some cases, of course, whole group, drunk group comes to attack you. So this is something very normal of what's happening in society, right? But I'm telling you that the mechanisms which are pulling people into that direction are not natural in that sense, and these are not their own elements, okay? And there is one very good anecdote when one woman in Isan came to see Ajahn Chah, and he was a supposedly arahant. Well, he was Illuminati member who could see thoughts, but very wise guy. So she was complaining to him that she cannot control her anger. He was, of course, a high-ranking Buddhist monk, and he said, "Anger, your anger. Well, if it is your anger, then just drop it away." And she says, "No, you don't understand me." He says, I do understand you. You don't understand me. If it is your anger, like your arm, you can control it, but this is not your anger." So uh, it's of course very good parable because it throws the ball back to you. Can you control these impulses? Okay, because at the end of the day, these impulses are something which is mind controlling you and controlling you from the inside. And of course, you as my viewer, I understand that you are not one of these people, but we all do have our anger issues. I have also anger issues, and it's very important that you train yourself mentally, that you train yourself consciously to prepare yourself for anger. So when anger arises, you go like breathing out, 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out. This is switches off your brain and focuses you. And then you need to consciously know, I'm getting emotional now. My blood is retreating from my frontal lobe. I'm now entering my reptilian cortex, reptilian brain, and now I'm simply behaving territorial, like a reptile, like animal, territory, fight or flight, my resources. You know how when we get angry, we get into that reptilian instinct. And I've done this mistake so many times, and I'm sure that you've done it. But with the exercise, you can really help yourself, and this is the point of the real education. Okay, uh, versus the socialist system school indoctrination. This is how to control that inner animal, because unfortunately we are souls who are put in a kind of weird bodies. We have reptilian DNA, we have the reptilian brain in us, right? The R complex, which is identical to the sweetwater crocodile brain from North Australia, which is identical as the human R complex. Then we have an upgrade, we have a brain of a mammal, there's emotions are there. Then we have a frontal lobe which makes us human. So when we get angry, we lose all these faculties and we become animals. So that's why you should prepare yourself in peace for the war. Do not forget, every drop of sweat you drop during the training, mental training, meditation, is the less one drop of blood less you're gonna drop in your life, right? And we are prepping now for a very big spiritual battle which is coming, which is waging in so many of us, and elsewhere. And for the end, I can just tell people that I don't really regret my choices. Every time I chose the spiritual path and the risk over the physical security, well, it was a hard choice, but at least now I don't really have that civil war inside of me. And let me tell you one anecdote with one, again, ex-friend of mine, Alan Stareshina from Zagreb. At that time, very cool friend. He introduced me to the Silva method, mind control. I finished that course first time 97, and then second time 98, which is very good technique, as I told you before. And he asked me, like, I remember we've been just crossing a zebra, on one avenue in Zagreb in Croatia, where we finished that. And he asked me, what you gonna do, like, first thing? And I said, very first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish the civil war in myself, because I need to be united, and I need to be, with a clear focus what I want to do in a life. This is very first thing. And I was like 21, right? Now I'm 42, and I had no idea that it's gonna take me so long time. It really took me a long time. And yeah, now I'm offering you the the fruits of that labor when I'm pointing you now to the meditation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that Malanga's technique of clearing away from you the mental parasites, because this is the key to the spiritual and mental, of course, liberation, right? Once you do successfully these exercises and start feeding yourself with the energy, and you're just gonna be a different person. You're just gonna be a different person. I I assure you, there is no other option. When I started to do that, I was a Buddhist monk, and then it simply led me to the telling the truth. And when I told the truth, then they disrobed me, because truth was that the abbot was screwing a girl and another girls, and I saw him being alone with her in a room more than 30 minutes for sure, and so on. So yeah, life definitely gonna change. Well, thank you for watching, and let's take a look for the end. This beautiful Mekong, huh? What a nice place. This is the promenade, and this is the river. That there is the island. There is another half across. Man, it's huge, huh? I love these details. And